Over the last few months, I've been getting a couple of reports in about people claiming that the older versions of Windows 10, say for instance what we've got here in our hand, an install from 2016, gives you more FPS on older hardware. So we're talking like first gen i7, X58, X79, etc. It gives you more FPS in games than the 2020 install of Windows 10. And so what I've noticed, however, when I've done comparisons over the years with the older hardware, I've noticed it has kind of been getting gradually worse. Whether that be the graphics cards have just been getting better and giving more FPS on the high end, which I think going into this video is the most likely scenario, but there is a possibility that certain updates could have an impact on performance with older hardware. So what we're going to be doing here today is testing out this old X58 and the Xeon X56-75, one of my longtime personal favorites. And even though it doesn't have AVX2 instructions and stuff like that, it still is a hallmark, especially here at Tech Yes City. So we're gonna be grabbing this old CPU and motherboard combo, and we're gonna be comparing it against the 10900K in a few games to see if the rumors are true. Let's get on with it. Today's video is brought to you by SCD Keys, delivering you that retail single and user license key for only $12 after you use the coupon code BFTYC. That's right, this month only, you can get a 30% discount using that coupon and link in the description below. So we're now going into the night with this testing, and a bit of an update. We have finished successfully the numbers on the 2015 Windows 10 install. And we had to do this on a 6900 XT, where I had to then extract I got the drivers for review pre-release, and I've put them into a program called BandyZip and extracted just the drivers, and I was able to manually install that in Windows 10, the 2015 version. And so that enabled us to then test some of the games here. And so we do have some results that are ready to go. We got 4 different games here because unfortunately DX12 wouldn't work on the first edition of Windows 10. So working around that, we've got some numbers here. You have to excuse my handwriting. It's not the best, but we're going to now test the 2020 version on this right here. Now, some interesting differences already is that this edition here did not have any Spectre or Melt. It's like when I open up Inspector, the options are just grayed out on this version of Windows. So it's pretty interesting. And the 3080, I couldn't test with that because the new driver, it was just impossible to get the new driver manually installed on this version of Windows. It just wouldn't work no matter what I would do. And so I tried everything. That's why it's going into the night, the testing. So we've got some results coming up now. We're going to do round 2 of testing on the X58 and then report back. And here we are now, at the finish line, with some of the most tedious benchmarking I have done, in that, as we said before, we couldn't get the 30 series to work on the 2015 install, but we did get the 6900 XT to work, but it did have its bugs. And these bugs were very interesting. For instance, on the 10900K, when we were doing the final testing, I could only test For Honor. All the other games just wouldn't work on the 10900K system. So I was able to still, though, get out results that showed us that it's not so much the hardware that it's at fault here. And we're going to pull up some of the results here because these results show that we're outside margin of error for saying, okay, it's just margin of error, Brian. Depending on the benchmark run you do, you're going to see results vary from benchmark run to benchmark. And I'm going to say, because we're using the same X58 setup on both Windows installs, there's pretty much no variance in clock speeds, no variance in anything else but the OS. And so what we're seeing now in CSGO and also For Honor, these were the two games that showed us a difference here, where we went from on single thread performance, where we disabled multi-core performance on the X58 system, we saw that we went from 210 FPS down to 192. Now we were able to recuperate some of this loss and some of this difference by disabling the Spectre and Meltdown updates, which is why I do recommend, especially on the older hardware, that you do disable these updates. And even I disabled them on my 10900K test rig. Now going over to F1 2020 showed us we did lose some FPS going from this game. So we did get a lot more FPS, however, running this game on DX12. And then moving over to Far Cry New Dawn, we saw FPS pretty much similar across all different testing scenarios, 2015 versus 2020 versus 2020 with Spectre and Meltdown updates disabled. And then moving over to the last game, For Honor, which was the game that was most important for me because we did see roughly that 10% difference that we saw in CSGO, but also on the 10900K, we did see an improvement as well. And we went from around 458 FPS here on average to 488. So we also gained 30 FPS by going back to the original edition of Windows 10 versus the latest edition. And then with the 10900K, I just simply wasn't able to run the other three games on the 2015 edition. It just kept crashing out. I tried to run these games and they all just gave out errors. I'm guessing that was to do with just the driver. It just wasn't having it with the 6900 XT. So there's the results. What do these all mean? If you're a gamer out there, one thing that I'm going to look at is that I'm just going to say that over time, there has been these slow, I guess, injections of, I don't know whether it's telemetry or just crap that's getting baked into Windows 10 that's giving a drop in performance. And that's the only thing I can see because it's happening on the 10900K as well. So if it was a deliberate nerf on the X58 systems, then it wouldn't be happening on the 10900K in For Honor, for example. But it is happening. And so it's happening on both the older hardware and the newer hardware. But I think because the older hardware is not as fast in total system performance, you're noticing it more on the older hardware. Another thing I will say is that the 6900 XT, for example, and the RTX 3080, they're massive leaps and bounds ahead from when years ago when we were testing the 1080 Ti and we're testing that versus what was latest and greatest at the time, the 8700K. So things have changed definitely on both the CPU front in terms of more cores, and in Intel's case, they've just gone over 5 gigahertz on their base speeds. And then also on AMD's side, you've got Zen 3, you've got Zen 2. They're bringing hard value for money. They're also bringing performance gains of their own. A while ago, the Linux versus Windows 10. And in one of the games that we tested there was a difference. And that was in Dota 2, I believe, where it ran better on the Linux-based system than it did on the Windows 10-based system. So whatever's going on with Windows 10, I would love to see them give gamers a just clean-cut version with none of the crap and none of the telemetry baked in. But if Microsoft were to do this, they'd get a big kudos from me, and I'm sure a lot of gamers would like to jump on this because it wouldn't just trickle down to games, it would trickle down to things like streaming and recording. But when I did record directly from the encoder, we did get a drop on X58, but the funny thing was is those drops were universal and they were right in line with the original results. It was just a performance dip on both sides. So in a nutshell, we're gonna sum things up on today's video. And that is, the first thing is, to the guys out there who notice this stuff, keep noticing this stuff. I love doing these tests. It's a lot of fun. Another thing is too, it's these kinds of tests that keep the industry honest as well. So when people pull you up and say, oh, it's all in your head and whatnot, don't just ignore that. Because I mean, in ways, I've built a whole channel off doing these kinds of tests and proving people wrong. And so this time around, we were kind of proved that it was both sides were right. No one was really wrong here. It's just over time, Windows have added in all these features, whether they're good or bad, that has caused a consequence of that to drop FPS in games for people across all sorts of hardware. And more importantly, it's these kinds of conversations that help us just get a better understanding of what's going on, especially when it comes to getting the best gaming performance. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, then be sure to hit that like. Actually, don't just hit it, smash that like button for us. And with that aside, let us know in the comment section below. Have you noticed any other differences, any other weird things going on? Love reading those thoughts and opinions, and can just be weird things in general. Doesn't have to just be to Windows 10. I love reading those comments. You know, if you're at home and you're like, Brian, there's someone outside my window and he's holding a copy of Linux, just drop that comment down below. I would like to read the rest of the story. But speaking of stories, we got an email here that came in and it says, hello, how are you? I've been watching your channel for a while. Pretty awesome. I'm still using X58 Rampage 2 Extreme. That's pretty much exactly what we used here in today's video. Awesome choice of motherboard. But he wants to ask if it's compatible with the new NVIDIA graphics cards. Again, very good channel, good day. So the X58 is going to be compatible with the new 30 series cards. I would say, like, you've got to be careful here because the old stuff, the used stuff, and this question relates to the used stuff directly. X58, it's amazing. I love it, but it's starting to lose its appeal as time goes on. I mean, some of the new stuff is getting very cheap now. It's getting very competitive. And the old 6 cores, they lack the newer instruction sets. Even though they'll work in majority titles still, you're going to be missing out in some cases on FPS, you're going to be missing out on instruction sets, and you're going to have a less efficient processor in general. But that relates to mainly the biggest thing that is bothering me with the used market right now is the prices of used parts. They're hideous to the point where I've honestly been starting to build new PCs and it's just a lot easier, there's a lot less hassle, and I'm finding too there's a lot more hosing going on in the used scene too. But we will be making a dedicated video on a used market update because these aren't stories that are just coming from me. They're coming from a lot of other people too. And it's just trends that you notice that goes through the industry. So to answer that question directly, yes, it's still compatible. And the PCIe X16 PCIe 2.0 is even fine all the way up to the RTX 3090 in terms of gaining the max performance if you're playing at 4K, for example. Though, if you stayed this far and you're enjoying that Tech Yes content, you want to see the content as soon as it drops, then be sure to hit that sub button, ring that bell, and I'll see you in the next one.